Hey geometry students, this is Mr. Fovel. I'm going to try and give you some insight on completing the square and how it's used in geometry. So a quick reminder from algebra, we just want to look at what completing the square really is. So if you notice, I have a problem, x squared plus 8x, and there's a missing part. This is known as completing the square, and we can show it using our area model. So if you remember, x squared is this part of the square here, and it comes from x times x. Then what we're looking at is we're looking for symmetry. So we want both sides to be equal. We have 8x here, and we have two spots that we want to split it equally amongst. So we have 4x here and 4x here. Well, to get these 4x's, you take x times something to get 4x here. So we would take it times 4. So this is x times 4 gives us 4x. And we get a 4 here. Because of that, we're able to find out that 4 times 4 here will give us 16 in this spot. Meaning that we have to add the perfect square of 16 right here. What this allows us to do is take a problem such as this one at the top and rewrite it as a perfect square, x plus 4, that's our sides, and we square it. This comes from the area of a square, length times width. With a square, the length and the width are the same, so you can square them. Here's how we use this, or one of the ways we use this in geometry is to find the center and radius of a circle. So we have a math problem, x squared plus y squared minus 10x plus 4y minus 7 equals 0. This mathematical problem is the math problem of a circle, but it doesn't tell us the radius or the center of the circle, which are important things to be able to graph a circle. So we want to first rearrange the problem. X squared minus 10x plus y squared plus 4y equals 7. We want to move this 7. That's the lone thing that's kind of separate. Everything else we want to put kind of together. We want the x's near each other, the y's near each other. This is because they will help us determine the x and the y values of the radius. The next thing we want to do is we want to kind of rewrite it with a missing part. And this is where completing the square becomes important. If you notice, we have two situations that look similar to our problem on the left. We have a y version and an x version. So if we use our box method, we should be able to figure out what goes in that square. So if we do the x's first, x and x is x squared. We have the negative 10x, so we got to split it in half and get negative 5x in both of these spots. That means that it comes from negative 5 up here. Negative 5 times negative 5 gives us positive 25. So we're going to add 25 right there. We have to remember to add it on the other side also. Got to keep symmetry, got to keep things equal. The important part here is this becomes x minus 5 squared from up here. Okay, now we need to do the y's, and we do the exact same work. Now some of you may notice a quicker way to do this. If you come up with a quicker version, go with it. See what you can get. So we'll have y times y gives us that y squared. 4y gets cut in half, so we get a 2y here and a 2y here. So this is going to be a positive 2 and a positive 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So we're going to add 4 here and add 4 on the other side to keep things symmetrical. Again, the important part here is y plus 2 from the sides squared. And that will give us, we have to add this all up to get a new number. So 7 and 25 is 32, plus 4 is 36. Okay? If you notice, everything is squared except for the number on the right side. So what we want to do is we want to square root it and turn it into a square. So we get something that looks like this. X minus 5 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 6 squared. We want everything to be squared. That gives us more information about the center and the radius. So the blue part here will actually give us the x value of the center. So we're going to focus first on the center. To get the x and the y values, all we do is we use our math at the top. So we have x minus 5 squared. Well, how do you make x minus 5 equal 0 is the goal here. X minus 5 equals 0. Well, the simple thing is put a positive 5 in. 5 minus 5 makes 0. So our x value is 5. We do the same thing with the y value. We do y plus 2 equals 0. Well, we know that y has to be negative 2 then, because that's how you make 0, is with that negative 2. The easiest one is actually the radius. The radius is exactly what we have right here. The radius has to be 6 units. Because we're doing a graph, we use units instead of inches or centimeters or anything like that. So this circle would be centered at 5, negative 2, and it would have a radius of 6. Hopefully this helps you. If you need to re-watch it to get the information again, please do so. Watch some of the small things like where there's negatives, where there's positives. This can be a little bit tricky. Good luck.